You ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Welcome to the SOAR Show. I'm Kathleen.
Hi, I'm Sheila.
I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Carrie. And wow, what a week. What a month. What a year.
Let's start 2020 all over again.
Yeah, let's do. Actually, a house just came up that was listed, and the address was 2020 Jose. I don't know if y'all saw that new listing. I'm like, no. I don't want anybody to live at 2020 Jose. Anyway, so we're actually, it's hard to do a show right now without just touching. I mean, I just feel like it wouldn't be right to not just vocalize things, and conversation sometimes generates answers and healing. So we will be talking about this today, but first we're going to have words of the day. Who's got a word?
My word for the day, I just changed it when you said it, is wow. That's all I got. Wow. That's all I've got right
I
now.
literally have seen that's been some people's response to stuff on Facebook.
That's
They don't even know what to say. They just go, wow.
That's how I've been.
That's understandable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're so far removed from where you would think we would all be in so many aspects, in racism, in behavior, in just so many things that we ought to be a lot further along in, all of us as people, don't you think? But anyways, my word's filter. And I think that I'm going to choose, regardless of what's happening, and I think more people should do this, is filter the things that are happening around you and the things you're hearing and the things that people are saying. Filter what makes sense to you and move forward with all that trash off to the sides.
Wow. Wow.
That's my word, filter.
I see now I'm doing wow for another reason.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Be your own filter.
That's right.
My word is routine. And I think if you make small changes to your routine, they become habit. And you can change the world just by changing small things about your routine. Sometimes you're not even aware of a routine that you've created.
That's very good.
Yeah.
I like
You know that with our health tips,
Absolutely.
incorporating small things into your
small
routine where
changes.
you don't think about it anymore. It's just part of your routine.
That's good with the words that come out of your mouth, with the thoughts you think in your mind.
Oh, very critical.
And what do they say? It takes, 3 weeks, 3 days to
To
change?
change a habit.
What is that?
21 days.
21 days. In 21 days, what if we all thought differently? Yay! That'd be great.
Just make it a part of your routine to where you don't think about it, that it's things that you automatically do.
And go out of your way to make yourself say things differently. If you think you were saying something that you shouldn't have been, or thinking in ways you shouldn't have. What about you? What's your word?
My word is life. There's just so much happening right now, and to me, all lives matter. From the moment you're in the womb, I'm getting a serious moment here, but from the moment you're in the womb until you die, life matters. And we just recently had a death in the family, had to attend a funeral, and our days are numbered. Our days are numbered, and it's just a mystery to me why we spend so much of our lives in a negative state or in a hurtful state or an angry state. It's a waste of time. Life matters, and we should be making the most of every single moment. Every one of us.
We should. I was just thinking about that on the way here to film the show when you just said life is so short. Everyone has burdens they bear and things they go through. White, black, Asian, whatever you are, we're all handed mountains to climb in life, and that's from God that make us stronger. And I know there's the slavery and the anger and the racism with blacks, and there's, women have had a lot to overcome in life. And there are people who grow up in a house with abusive parents. That's their burden. That's what they're having to figure out how to overcome in life. An alcoholic parent or abusive or sexual abuse. There's women especially that get kidnapped and trapped for years, and then they just have to come back out into life. There's people who have just horrible stories that happen to them, and they can either stay mad and angry all their life that they only get one chance at, or you can decide, how am I going to be better than what happened to me? And I believe that. And I am one of those people. People don't think that. They see me. They see my Facebook. They see my smile. They see my clothes. They don't know what I've overcome, what I've seen people in my family overcome. And I could be mad every damn day.
but you
But I
choose
choose not to
differently.
be.
You
Amen.
choose differently.
And Carrie gave me some of the best advice, and I think I've said this on this show before, is that.
And we just lost footage. I'm here alone. I'm editing our show, and I just lost about 10 minutes worth of our show that we filmed earlier today. So I'm going to fill you in really quickly on where we were, and then bring you right back into the show with everybody else. Life's just a shit show. That's what Rebecca was about to say in the show, is that I had given her some advice one time about life's just a shit show. And so don't get so caught up in the fact that, this is just happening to me. That we all have good days. We all have bad days. We're all juggling tons of stuff. So just run your own little shit show. So that's what Rebecca was about to say. Now, and I'm having one right now. What we were talking about next, because our topic today basically was going to be, what if I was president for the day? What if I was president for the day? Think about that. You're in charge of your family. Like what if your kids are just out of control and it's just crazy day and stuff's everywhere and they're yelling and they're fighting and you're like, I'm mom. I got to fix this. I got to fix it. I'm mom. This is up to me. Or you're the teacher of like 25 kids or 40 kids, in a school system, and it's just rambunctious and you're going, I got to pull this together. This is up to me. Well, that's how the president feels, and crazy right now what he must be feeling. And Obama went through it, with like Ferguson and all kinds of things like that. And then there was George Bush with 9/11. And so that's what the president is put in the kind of pressure cooker they're in a lot of times. So what would you do? I wish we had the footage so you could hear everybody's answers, but Kathleen basically was saying that she would take advantage of all the people that she had put in place around her, that she would breathe and step back and just really consult with those that had great advice around her, and then make her decisions based on that. I think that's a great advice. And Rebecca was basically saying she would just close the door and she would pray. And how great is that? Because there's no more peace that comes to you than when you're talking to God. And ultimately, He's in control anyway. And Sheila basically said that what she would do was just really be sympathetic and empathetic where she could be, and use that emotion to really resolve things for people on that level, and just really get in there and feel what they were feeling. Which is similar to what I was saying in a way, because what I would do is, at this point, I would end the protest. Protests to me are a right and they're a privilege. And just like with your children, if they abuse something, you're going to pull that privilege from them. And I'm not saying that everyone's abused it, but it's not doing anything positive right now. There are people who are trying to be peaceful and for a great cause, but it's totally out of control. And I would not let my country be out of control. So I would end it. And what I would do, though, and I think would be more effective, would be to just get like 25 minorities from every state and pick them through either a website, first come, first serve, or share your story, and then bring those people to me. Remember, at this point, I'm president and I'm in Washington, and I would bring those people to Washington, D.C., and I would put them in hotel rooms for like 4 or 5 days. And I would have them submit their concerns, their issues, their answers, their questions, and ahead of time. And so then I would sit down with my cabinet of people around me, and we would talk day in and day out and hear each other in peaceful ways and go, okay, I hear you. Okay, yeah, that is a great idea. And really find an answer for once. I don't think protesting, walking around with a sign, is going to accomplish anything. Has it ever? So kind of that's where we move next in our conversation, is about protesting and the value of it, if there is any. And we pick back up from there. So that's my quick catch up. Here's the show. So I think that if I saw a group of people walking by holding a sign and then they're gone, I'm just going to go back to what I was doing. Oh, okay, they're gone, or that's over, or what was that? I don't really hear from the people walking by. What is your answer? What do you want to see differently? What are you mad about?
It's not impactful. I'm hearing
Right.
what you're saying, but none of that is impactful other than the anger that it inspires and the violence that occurs as a result of it. But what you're saying is, if you actually had people who had genuine concerns who would sit down and talk and communicate,
Right.
What can we do differently? What can we do better?
It's communicate and it's educate.
Can you imagine like 3 or 4 days with President Trump? and you are like up at a hotel and you're spending the night and you're showing up and you have pre-written questions and he's getting to look at them with a panel, as Kathleen said. So lots of people's advice, and we're reading them and we're addressing them on the spot. Now we can move forward with some sort of a plan. I just don't even see, I mean, George Floyd's brother said it, we've been doing this for years and years and nothing has changed. So why don't we stop and really listen?
Well, and what it does is it creates empathy, what you're talking about. The difference between sympathy and empathy is if I empathize with somebody, I have been through what they've been through. I haven't. I'm a white woman. I cannot say that I have been through and been discriminated like a black woman. I cannot say, I can't empathize with that.
Yeah.
But I can sympathize and I can listen and I can learn and I can help change the world.
That's right.
But so to me, so much of this goes back to we've gotten so far removed in so many ways from educating our children in the correct way. We've taken Christ out of everything we can take him out of, and we're not raising right. We're not disciplining our children. We're not teaching them a strong work ethic the way our forefathers were, and obviously these problems existed at that point too. Nothing's going to change until we reach a solution as to what can we do to implement the change.
I think I would almost be
We're
offended.
not getting to the root.
Exactly. And I think I would be offended if I was really upset about something. Let's just say maybe I've had experience with, maybe kidnapping or rape or women not voting or not getting the same paycheck. And I was allowed to just carry a sign and walk down the street. I'd be like, are you kidding me?
No one's hearing you.
Don't disrespect me and telling me that's all I get to do. And then tell me I had my moment. So I think that I that's what I would probably do is I would say, come all. I want to hear. I want to listen because there's got to be a fix for this. We're too smart to not be able to fix it.
And I think Sheila hit it too. I think a big part of it is educating our youth in the right ways,
right?
Because we're missing it. We're missing the mark. And I mean, the young man that allegedly set fire to our historic courthouse in Nashville was a young white dude.
Right.
I'm like, what are you doing?
25. Yeah.
And I know we've seen that all over the nation, but
and just putting us in worse.
But I hear this generation like us and our age group that are speaking and saying you're doing this wrong. You're doing it in the wrong way.
Right.
So
I think people have been getting it wrong for a long time, and that's why there's no answer.
I want to read something to y'all. This is Martin Luther King Jr. is what he said. Violence never brings permanent peace. It solves no social problems. It merely creates new and more complicated ones. Violence is impractical because it is a descending spiral ending in destruction for all. It is immoral because it seeks to humiliate the opponent rather than win his understanding. It seeks to annihilate rather than convert. Violence is immoral because it thrives on hatred rather than love. It destroys community and makes brotherhood impossible. And he goes on. But Martin Luther King's like this, it's not the answer.
Right.
It gets immediate attention and instills fear, panic.
Right.
Well, something yesterday that Al Roker said on the Today Show, which I agree, is in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, we were teaching people not to see color. And that's just stupid.
Yeah.
Because why can't we embrace that? Why can't we see a strong, educated black man? Why can't we see an educated white woman? Or why? Why can't we? Because we're people.
Right.
We are more alike than anything. We're more alike than any other species on this earth. We're more alike than a whale. Or a monkey or anything. We are alike in so many ways.
And yet we're so divisive, and so we seek instead to separate ourselves because of those differences instead of embracing
those
And here's the thing too that I wish that people of color would see is that every time something does happen, like the George Floyd, which was awful. And I don't even know that police officer's name. I just want to know George Floyd's name. I don't care what his name is.
Yeah.
But that's his problem. He's messed up with whatever he was dealing with. We're all not like that. There are men that specifically kill blondes because it looked like someone. There are all kinds of people that target something that affects that comes from their childhood. Yes. There is hatred all over for all different kinds of people. So just because some screwed up cop kills a black man doesn't mean we are all would have done that to anybody or would ever think of it. So that's what I hate too, is that it becomes this blanket that we all hate each other, and we don't. Not at all. Makes me really sad.
Yeah.
I have a gift after you do a health tip. And then I have a gift.
And my health tip's simple, just like with last week, everything that we're going through, we don't need another to do. You know, so the bottom line is, you know, just show more love. Show more love, and we've had a bunch of wow moments in the past 5 months, and I'm going to go back to really talking about it's a lot, and I'm going to encourage people, write things down, journal your feelings, write, journal, talk, share. Don't keep things on the inside, but express them in a very healthy way.
That's great advice,
That
which
is
will
great
help you
advice.
filter. If you write it down, you can go,
Absolutely.
why am I so mad about that? I think I'll concentrate on this. This makes me feel better.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a really good
100%.
point. Yeah, good tip. Okay, I have just y'all a little treat because I love cocktails. I'm the cocktail queen. And here's a pretty little summer fun cup for everybody to have.
These are awesome.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, just something cute. Mine
Fun,
says stand
thank
tall.
you.
What's yours say?
Work that crown.
Work that.
I got
crown.
stand tall.
Yeah,
Tropical vibes only.
yeah. So again, just
Oh.
put something yummy and
Awesome.
fruity in your cup and have a great day.
You don't have anything yummy or fruity hiding
No,
back
I gotta
there?
go work. I gotta go work
Okay,
right after
all
this,
right,
or I
all right,
would.
you're
That's for
forgiven.
another day.
I'll
That's
put
for
my
another day.
ginger
It
tea
doesn't
in there.
mean
Thank
not.
you.
I'm not trying to say
That's
don't take to heart what's happening and try to be part of the answer. But every once in a while, make a cold drink and just feel good for a minute. Take a moment
That's
Yes.
right. And enjoy
Amen.
life.
and enjoy life. Okay,
Yes.
that's the SOAR show. Have a great week.
SOAR.